Okay my friends, so today I'm bringing you a review on the brand new Norvina Volume 1 palette. So yes, it is a Volume 1. That means, or you know, it seems like we're going to be seeing more of these Norvina palettes. Super pretty. I was just so excited. I took it out of that carton box. So this is the unicorn box. Really nice. It goes along the design with Norvina herself. She loves purple and it had to have a purple cover. I mean, why not, right? Now, if I like the cover a lot, I mean, I like the packaging, and in fact, the packaging looks like a Natasha Denona kind of palette. I mean, it's pretty much identical, but let's go back and talk about Norvina, the Norvina collection. So it seems like it's gonna be Volume 1, Volume 2, and so forth. So we will see. This beautiful palette costs $60, and let me open it up for you. I already digging my fingers in it. You'll find 25 amazing, beautiful shades. These shades right here are very vibrant. They really talk about Norvina herself. It has a lot of purples. So if you recall that Norvina palette, that standard one, these right here, these have some purples, and I think it's beautiful, very wearable. But this right here is basically an R2C palette, and what it makes it an R2C palette, it is the type of formulation it has. So here you will find a lot of pressed pigments, and in fact on the back of this palette right here, well, not on the palette, but it actually, that unicorn, it tells you exactly which are the shades that are pressed pigment, and therefore they are not intended to be used in the immediate eye area. That is because these special pigments, they will give a lot more impact on the look. It will just give a lot of beautiful pigmentation right away, right off the back. This palette right here, to me, is obviously not a palette for a person like me. I'm not a makeup artist. I enjoy makeup. If you are a collector, maybe this can be one that you can add it to your collection. But this is a palette that is actually created for those people that have these creative minds, that maybe they are working on a stage or, you know, on like special photo shoots, and that's for who I think this palette has been created for. But nonetheless, it is really beautiful. Now, it has a lot of purple tones right here, as you can tell, and a lot of orange, red tones, a little bit of that, the actual yellows, and you know, a couple pops of blue here and there. But basically, that's the palette itself. I mean, there's no other colors, there's no greens, there's no like a transition shade like we are used to, because that's not the intention of the palette. Now, as far as how many grams of products you get on this palette, on each of the single shadows you get 1.8 grams or 0.063 ounces. It is vegan, it's cruelty free, it will last for 18 months. And this palette actually is made in China, which kind of surprised me about it. I mean, I don't have anything really against to China, but I'm a little bit like, China, okay, oh well. And just for reference, for example, here, this palette, each shadow comes with 0.71 grams of product, which is about, I will say, a little bit less than half than this other palette right here. I mean, I think everybody has seen it. And you can see this palette, the Norvina, in the regular Anastasia formula and format, it is a lot more muted than this palette right over here. Now, I wanted to show you what I was saying about the Natasha Denona palette. Do you see the type of actual component? You know, it's just so alike. The only thing is, like the Natasha Denona, you can pop out the shadows, but on this one you don't have a way to pop up the shadows, and I don't think they will go anywhere. They are like really well attached to the palette itself. And even, I don't know if you noticed that, but even the shape of the eyeshadow pans itself, they look so much alike. I mean, these ones are a little bit more rectangular and these ones are a little square, but very much alike. And you know what? There was a picture of Norvina and Natasha Denona together, and I'm like, is there a conspiration right there of some sort? I don't know. I just, my mind is going like 1,000 miles per hour. But anyhow, I'm here to give you my overview, my, my full thoughts on this palette and give you some different eye looks. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch these beautiful shades right here. Another thing to point out really quick, each of the rows, they actually have a letter. So this is A, B, C, D, E. And then each of the columns have a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's very simple to guide yourself. If you're using A1, A2, A3, and so forth, and then here, E1, E2, E3, E4, E5. So it doesn't have names, the shades, which I find, really good. And in fact, for, a regular person that is not doing YouTube videos, having the name in the front or not doesn't make much of a difference. I think what it makes a lot of a difference is if you are really attached and in love of one of the eyeshadows and you want to repurchase it as a single. It's nice to know it, but the big fuss about the eyeshadows having the names on the pan, it actually comes mostly because of people doing YouTube videos and tutorials. That's in my humble point of view. Okay, so let's go into the swatches right here. A1 is a lilac with cool pink reflex and metallic finish. A2, bright violet with a matte finish. A3, rich plum with a matte finish. A4, it is a golden copper with metallic finish. A5, it is a warm candy pink with matte finish. B1, it is a vivid lilac with matte finish. B2 is a rosy bronze with gold reflex and a metallic finish. B3 is a platinum rose with gold reflex and a metallic finish. B4 is a deep cool purple with a matte finish. B5 is a deep cool plum with a matte finish. C1 is a bright white with a matte finish. C2 is a yellow gold with a metallic finish. C3 is a deep rose gold with gold reflex and a metallic finish. C4 is a mauve plum with a matte finish. C5 is a burnt sienna with a matte finish. D1 is a primary yellow with a matte finish. D2 is a blue tone purple with a shimmer finish. D3 is a primary red with a matte finish. D4 is a primary blue with a blue reflect in a matte finish. D5 is a true black. E1 is a golden peach with a metallic finish. E2 is a pastel orange with a matte finish. E3 is an ochre yellow with a matte finish. E4 is a neon orange with a matte finish. And E5 is a deep ox blood with a matte finish. Wow. So here are all the swatches of the Norvina Volume 1 palette. They all swatch extremely good, extremely pigmented, and let's see when I'm taking it out if any of them will leave me like a mark. And I'm sure they will. I love this shade right here, the C3. Looks beautiful. Okay, I just took them out kind of like right away, and they leave me a little bit of mark, but not too much. I'm sure the more time they stay on your skin, they will leave you, with stains. So I will highly suggest to use a base or a concealer before applying these eyeshadows. The only eyeshadow that I find out not to be as creamy on the matte, it is this E4 shadow right here, the neon orange. It was a little bit more dry, but it just applied really good on the swatches. Now, a lot of you may be thinking about the Edwards eyeshadow palette. It has a lot of similarities to it, and I'm sure it does. I do not own it. I decided to skip it, and I'm glad it did because I didn't know this volume 1 was coming, and I'm happy that I actually pick up these instead. And now I just want to compare really quick with the Jackie Aina palette. As you can see right here, they seem to have a little bit of similarities, but not much at all. I think perhaps, if so, this shade right here, I mean, not even this shade. This shade is another type of purple. I mean, I'm gonna swatch it right here. This is the shade Big Wig. And then I'm gonna swatch it against the shade B5. They are just different undertones. Completely different undertones. So this is Big Wig and this right here is B5. I like, but the one from Norvina has a little bit more pigmentation. Other than that, I don't see a lot of other similarities with this palette. Now, the one that may have a little bit more similarities could be this right here, the Riviera palette. On that, let's see, we have the shade Bahamas from Riviera and A5 from Norvina Artistry. So this is Bahamas, and this one right here, it is A5. So different. The one from Norvina, it's a little bit more punchy and brighter than the one from the volume 1. And then another shade right here that may look alike. Look at my fingers. I'm cleaning them, but they are getting a stain. Okay, so it's maybe this one right here, Inheritance, and the shade C2. So this is Inheritance from Riviera, and here it is the C2 from volume 2. So these right here are alike, very much alike. And the other one is this Canes from Riviera against A2 from Norvina. And then I also have swatch B4 and A3. So this is B4 and A3. They are all purples, but they have all different undertones. Okay, I'm swatching right here Passion from Norvina Classic, and then the volume 1 I have right here C5 and E5. So let's see right here, I have the one from Norvina and then the other two. Yeah, completely different undertones too, as you can tell. So there's not a lot of similarities from one to another one. I mean, maybe on the final eye look you will find that you will come out with something similar to it, but the formula, it's different, and the pigmentation, it is different from these palettes right here against this palette right here. So they are different, most definitely. Now my friends, this palette right here, you're able to purchase it at Sephora as well as Anastasia Beverly Hills website, and it just came out to all the stores too. Now let's go into this eyeshadow look. First I'm going to start with the shade D1, and I'm just going to take it all over my lid. Next I'm going to go ahead and use the shade E3 right here, this mustard color. And I'm going to define my eyelid. And I'm going to take it on my outer corner too. Now with the same brush, I'm going to go into the shade E2. And I'm going to apply it on my outer V. And then diffusing it a little bit to the inner center. Now to bring more depth to my eyelid, I'm gonna go to the shade C5 in the palette, and I'm using a short bristle type of brush. These have a lower kickback. I'm just gonna focus on that outer V. Now with the same brush that I used at the beginning, this is a Morphe E27 brush, I'm going to go ahead and use again the shade D1, which is this yellow shade right here. And I'm going to diffuse the edges. Now I'm going to apply a little bit more of the E2 shadow. And now with a Morphe M421, I'm going to go ahead and use the shade E1. I have been dying to use that shade. And I'm going to first apply it dry and see what's the performance of this eyeshadow. Okay, I was honestly expecting a little bit more of this eyeshadow, but it's not giving me that brightening effect. So I'm gonna wet it, and I'm gonna use my MAC Fix Plus. Okay, wet gives you a little bit more payoff, but not what I was expecting. So now I'm gonna apply it with my finger. Okay, with the finger works a lot better. Now for my under eye, I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade E2. And now to deepen it up a little, I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade C5. And I'm just gonna apply it on the outer part of my under eye. Now again, I'm gonna go with the first brush, the Morphe E27, and I'm gonna go to the shade D1, this yellow shade right here. And I'm just gonna start buffing the edges. In this eyeshadow palette, there's not really that inner corner or brow bone highlighter, but I think I'm gonna be a little bit adventurous. And I'm gonna put it as my inner corner, this shade right here, the C2. It is kind of like a yellow gold shade. And see how that goes. Okay, my friends, now that I'm done with the eyes, I'm gonna apply some blushes and then be right back so you can take a look at the final look. Okay, my friends, and here is the first eyeshadow look using the Norvina Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I want to do something with the blue. Why? I don't know. But I really want to do something with the blue. So I think I'm gonna start by applying one of these purpley eyeshadow right here. And I don't want to do all purple, so that's for sure. So it's gonna be the A2 with a blender brush. And I'm just going to outline my lid. These eyeshadows, they do have so much pigmentation, like Norvina wasn't joking. Now with that same brush, I'm gonna go into the shade D4, which is the blue shade right here. And I'm just gonna start packing it in right here. There's actually no fallout from these eyeshadows. They're pretty impressive. And I'm gonna put this same shade on my inner corner. Whatever is remaining from the brush, I'm just gonna swish it a little bit right here just to connect one side from the other. Just just lightly. Same thing on the other side. Okay, I'm finding out a little bit of, it's a little bit harder to blend this blue shade. You know, when I'm trying to blend in between. So you're gonna just have to be patient with blending, and that's normal for most blue eyeshadows. Now I want to deepen out my outer V a little more by using the black shade on the pan, which is D5. A little bit closer to the lash line too. With a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to go back to the shade A2 in the palette. This shade right here. I'm just going to tap it lightly, and I'm just going to take it up so I can blend in the edges. When I say lightly, I really mean lightly because these eyeshadows, they have crazy pigmentation. Now here you can do a halo eye if you want to and carve with concealer, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use straight the shade D2 in the palette with my finger. It's this shade right here. Just gonna put it on the middle of my eyelid. The dual chrome that has some purple and blue in it. Beautiful shade. Okay, I'm just going with a brush with that A2 shadow and just blend it in the edges. And then for my lower lash line, I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade A2. And then with the same brush, I'm gonna go into the shade D4. And I'm just gonna place it on the lower outer V area just to smoke it out and kind of like connect it. I'm gonna go ahead and use a Morphe M213 brush. I'm gonna go to the shade A1 in the palette, and I'm gonna do my inner corner. This is a lilac kind of color. And I'm gonna use the same shade as my Brow Bone highlighter. You know, I think that for the fun of it, I'm gonna use the shade E1 and put it in my inner corner too. Just a little. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna apply some falsies and then come back with the eye look done. Okay, my friends, and this is the final look using some of the blue eyeshadows. So I just applied a little bit more of concealer. So I'm gonna go first with the shade E2 in the palette, this orangey color right there, with a blender brush. I'm just gonna apply it all over the eyelid. Then I'm gonna take the shade E3, this mustard color, and I'm just gonna apply it over top, just to kind of like mute down a little bit more that orange shade. Now with a Sigma E44 brush, I'm gonna go into this shade B2, and this is actually a shimmer shade. So I don't know, I'm just gonna experiment and try to apply it on my outer V. Yeah, it's working out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade A4 with the same brush. Just apply it right on the edge, creating a little bit of a transition. And then with my finger, I'm gonna go into the shade C2 in the palette, and then I'm just gonna apply it right here, either portion. Now with the last brush that I was using, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this shade A4. Just take it right here on my inner V. I'm doing that just to soften up the shade and just leave that middle shade, the C2 right in the middle. Now with a E30 pencil brush by Sigma, I'm gonna go into the shade B2 in the palette. It's this shade right here. And I'm just gonna apply it on my lower lash line. And basically this is all kind of like a shimmer look, but I think this is kind of like that wearable, a little bit more wearable type of look, using all the bronzy golden tones. Okay friends, and now into my final thoughts about this palette. I honestly think this palette is not a need on a person like me, that I do not do makeup for, you know, like theater or movies or photo shoots. But I think artists and makeup artists will get a beautiful, good use out of it. I mean, all of the shadows, they felt so creamy, so beautiful, mostly the mattes. The only eyeshadow that is a little bit drier, but it is still very pigmented, is this shade right here, E4. Now, as far as the shimmer shades, at least of the ones that I have tried on today, they seem to be good, but they are not as impactful as other shimmer shades from the regular Anastasia formula. I don't know why is that, or maybe I know why is that. I mean, if you're talking about an artist, the artist will rather have a palette that will not give a lot of fallout in the pan, because, you know, if you get your shimmer shades inside, you know, a matte shade, then it potentially can just make the entire look go another direction. And I think that's maybe why the shimmer shades are not so strong, because if you look to a regular Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the shimmer shades are a little bit more foiled than these are. Therefore, these right here are better applied either wet or even better with your finger. That's the way that I find out that the shimmer shades right here work a lot better that way. As far as the color story, I mean, it is a color story that is basically, I mean, for a regular person day to day, it will give you more of like a nighttime look or an evening type of look. As you can tell, I was able to do some looks that they do not look too extravagant, that they still look good. They are not like the daytime type of look. I mean, I think you may be able to achieve something like that using the lightest color and actually even, you know, combining a little bit of the white to tone down any of the colors that you want to use. It could be one of the purple mattes or one of the orange ones, but in most cases you will get a darker look out of it. Now, I'm excited to see volume number 2. I mean, there's no rush. Obviously, we just got this one, but I'm excited to see what could be the next palette for Norvina. Knowing her, you know, like, I think this really speaks about her style, and all of that. It's a beautiful palette. Definitely is nothing that you need to have it. I mean, if you're a person that enjoys the regular Anastasia formula, you know, if you're more onto the neutral colors and you don't like to wear a lot of colors, I mean, it's better for you to maybe save your money and don't spend it on something like these. But if you want something for collector purposes, or if you want a really nice gift for somebody on, you know, that you know that it's becoming a makeup artist, I think this is a beautiful palette to get. The price, it is it is steep, but what you're getting is really good quality eyeshadows. Now, very important, if you use this palette, once again, most likely you will get stains on your eyelids, so use a concealer and a powder to prevent on that. And I mean, it will go away. It's nothing that it will just stain your eyelids forever. It doesn't work like that, but just go ahead and, you know, be aware of that beforehand. Now, if you want a palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills that compares to this one, not completely, but it's colorful, I will suggest maybe go to the Riviera palette. And now, if you want an eyeshadow palette that will give you more of a little bit of that pop of color, but that you can variate it and become a little bit more, you know, like everyday look, then the Jackie Aina palette could be a really good middle point in between the Riviera palette and this palette right here. The Lisa Edwards palette is more alike in colors as this eyeshadow right here, so if you have that one, I don't think you need this one. Again, different formula, not the same formula. It's a completely different story right here. I really enjoy the mattes, and I see the artisty side of this palette. Okay, my friends, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did so, please consider to subscribe to my channel by ringing that notification bell that is down there below somewhere in there. So subscribe is a red button, and don't forget to ring that post notification bell. Also, if you like this video, like it, give that thumbs up, and also share it with another friends, family members, somebody like you and me that we like all about beauty. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.